Yes, step lights are indeed required in certain locations within a fire station facility. The necessity of step lights is dictated by building codes and safety standards, primarily focusing on egress pathways. Egress refers to a safe and unobstructed path of departure from any point in a building to a public way. This includes doorways, hallways, corridors, stairways, ramps, and other intervening spaces. In the context of a fire station, ensuring clear and safe egress is critically important due to the time-sensitive nature of emergency response. Building codes such as the International Building Code or IBC and the National Fire Protection Association or NFPA standards, particularly NFPA 101, the Life Safety Code, provides specific guidelines on when and where step lights are mandatory. These codes aim to minimize hazards during emergencies such as power outages or smoke accumulation, which can significantly impair visibility. Step lights, also known as stair lights or low-level lighting, serve to illuminate the treads and landings of stairways. They are typically installed within 12 inches of the walking surface to provide focused illumination directly where people are stepping. This low-level positioning reduces glare and ensures that the path is clearly visible even in smoky conditions. Several factors determine the exact requirements of step lights in a fire station. Firstly, the occupancy classification of the building is a crucial consideration. Fire stations generally fall under the category of essential facilities, which often have stricter safety requirements than standard commercial buildings. Secondly, the specific design and layout of the fire station play a significant role. Any stairway that is part of the required egress path must be equipped with step lights. This includes stairways leading from living quarters to apparatus bays, stairways connecting different levels of the station, and any other stairways used for emergency evacuation. Thirdly, the presence of interior or exterior stairways also affects the requirements. Interior stairways, especially those within enclosed exit stairways, typically require illuminated step lights powered by an emergency power source. Exterior stairways that are part of the egress path also need step lighting, although the specific requirements may vary based on local climate conditions and the level of ambient lighting. The technical specifications for step lights are also outlined in building and safety codes. These specifications address several key aspects. Firstly, the minimum illuminance level, measured in foot candles or lux, is specified. The illuminance level must be sufficient to clearly identify each step and any potential hazards. Secondly, the uniformity of the light is important. The illumination should be evenly distributed across the step to avoid creating shadows or dark spots that could obscure visibility. Thirdly, the color rendering index or CRI of the light source is often regulated. A higher CRI indicates that the light source accurately renders colors, which can be particularly important for identifying obstacles or changes in elevation. Fourthly, the codes often specify the type of light source to be used for step lights. Light-emitting diodes, or LED, are commonly preferred due to their energy efficiency, long lifespan, and ability to provide consistent light output. In addition to the general requirements for step lights, emergency power provisions are critically important. Fire stations must have an emergency power system, such as a generator or battery backup, to ensure that step lights remain illuminated during a power outage. The emergency power system must be capable of providing power for a specified duration, typically at least 90 minutes, to allow sufficient time for occupants to evacuate the building safely. The installation of step lights must comply with electrical codes and standards to ensure safety and prevent electrical hazards. The wiring must be properly grounded, and the fixtures must be adequately protected from physical damage and moisture. It is crucial to use appropriate conduit and junction boxes to protect the wiring and prevent accidental contact with live electrical components. Regular inspection and maintenance of step lights are essential to ensure that they are functioning correctly. This includes checking the light output, verifying the emergency power system, and replacing any damage to non-functioning fixtures promptly. A documented maintenance schedule should be established to track inspections and repairs and ensure that the step lights are always in optimal condition. In Florida, the Florida Building Code incorporates and amends the International Building Code or IBC, so these requirements are effectively law. Furthermore, local jurisdictions may have additional requirements or interpretations of the code, so it is essential to consult with local building officials to ensure full compliance. Several specific sections of the IBC and NFPA 101 are relevant to step light requirements. IBC Section 1025 addresses the general requirements for exit stairways and ramps, including the need for illumination. NFPA 101 Section 7.8 covers the requirements for emergency lighting, including the duration of illumination and the types of light sources that are permitted. Additionally, NFPA 101 Section 7.10 addresses the specific requirements for exit markings, including the use of photoluminescent or self-luminous signs and markings to guide occupants to safety. The implementation of step lights in a fire station involves several practical considerations. Firstly, the selection of appropriate fixtures is important. The fixtures should be durable, weather-resistant, and designed for the specific application. Secondly, the placement of the fixtures must be carefully planned to ensure optimal illumination and minimize glare. Thirdly, the wiring and electrical connections must be installed by qualified electricians in accordance with all applicable codes and standards. The benefits of step lights in a fire station extend beyond mere compliance with building codes. They enhance safety by reducing the risk of slips, trips, and falls on stairways, particularly during emergency situations when visibility may be limited. They also improve the overall usability of the stairways, making it easier for firefighters and other personnel to navigate the building quickly and efficiently. Step lights contribute to a safer and more functional environment for fire station personnel, helping them to respond effectively to emergencies and protect the community. In summary, step lights are required in fire stations to ensure safe egress during normal and emergency conditions. These requirements are based on building codes and safety standards such as the International Building Code or IBC and NFPA 101, the Life Safety Code, which specify the minimum illuminance levels, uniformity of light, emergency power provisions, and installation requirements. By adhering to these guidelines, fire stations can create a safer environment for their personnel and improve their ability to respond effectively to emergencies. The absence of step lights where required constitutes a violation of building and safety codes, potentially leading to fines, legal liabilities, and, more importantly, increased risk of injury or death. Therefore, it is imperative that fire stations prioritize the proper installation and maintenance of step lights to ensure the safety and well-being of their personnel and the community they serve. The specific type of step light chosen can also influence its effectiveness. For example, some step lights are designed with a shielded light source to minimize glare, while others have a wider beam angle to illuminate a larger area. The choice of step light should be based on the specific characteristics of the stairway and the needs of the occupants. Furthermore, the color temperature of the light source can affect visibility and comfort. Warmer color temperatures, such as 2700 Kelvin to 3000 Kelvin, are generally preferred for interior stairways, as they create a more inviting and comfortable atmosphere. Cooler color temperatures, such as 4000 Kelvin to 5000 Kelvin, may be more appropriate for exterior stairways or areas where higher visibility is required. In addition to the technical requirements for step lights, there are also some best practices to consider. Firstly, it is important to involve qualified lighting designers and electrical engineers in the planning and design process to ensure that the lighting system is properly optimized. Secondly, it is important to consider the aesthetic aspects of the lighting system, as well as the functional aspects. Step lights can be integrated seamlessly into the design of the stairway, enhancing its visual appeal while also improving its safety. Thirdly, it is important to educate fire station personnel about the importance of step lights and how to use them effectively. Training programs should include information on the proper use of stairways, the location of emergency exits, and the importance of reporting any lighting deficiencies or maintenance issues. Regular drills and simulations can help personnel become familiar with the building's layout and emergency procedures, further enhancing their safety and preparedness. The implementation of step lights should be part of a comprehensive safety plan that addresses all aspects of fire station operations. This plan should include procedures for preventing falls, managing hazardous materials, responding to medical emergencies, and evacuating the building safely. By integrating step lights into a broader safety framework, fire stations can create a safer and more resilient environment for their personnel and the community they serve. The code requirements may also stipulate the need for specific types of lighting controls for the step lights. For instance, photocells may be required for exterior step lights to automatically turn them on at dusk and off at dawn, conserving energy and ensuring that the stairways are always illuminated when needed. In some cases, occupancy sensors may be used to turn on step lights only when someone is present, further reducing energy consumption. The integration of step lights with the building's fire alarm system is also an important consideration. In the event of a fire alarm, the step light should automatically illuminate to full brightness, providing occupants with a clear and unobstructed path to safety. The fire alarm system should also be capable of overriding any lighting controls, such as photocells or occupancy sensors, to ensure that step lights are always illuminated during an emergency. It is also important to consider the impact of step lights on the surrounding environment. Light pollution can be a concern, especially for exterior step lights that are located near residential areas. To minimize light pollution, step lights should be designed with shielded light sources that direct the light downwards, preventing it from spilling into the surrounding environment. The use of low wattage light sources and timers can also help to reduce light pollution. Furthermore, it is important to consider the impact of step lights on wildlife. Some species of birds and insects are attracted to artificial light, which can disrupt their natural behaviors and lead to negative consequences. To minimize the impact of step lights on wildlife, it is important to use light sources that emit a narrow spectrum of light, avoiding blue and ultraviolet wavelengths that are particularly attractive to wildlife. The installation of step lights should also be coordinated with other building systems, such as the HVAC system and the plumbing system. The electrical wiring for the step light should be routed in a way that does not interfere with the operation of these systems, and the fixtures should be located in areas where they are not likely to be damaged by water or other environmental factors. The selection of step lights should also take into account the long-term cost of ownership. While the initial cost of LED step lights may be higher than that of traditional incandescent or fluorescent lights, the long-term savings in energy and maintenance costs can more than offset the initial investment. LED step lights have a much longer lifespan than traditional light sources, reducing the frequency of bulb replacements and minimizing maintenance costs. They also consume significantly less energy, resulting in lower electricity bills. In addition to the specific requirements for step lights, there are also some general lighting requirements that apply to fire stations. The building codes specify minimum illuminance levels for various areas of the building, including apparatus bays, living quarters, offices, and storage areas. These requirements are intended to ensure that firefighters and other personnel have adequate lighting to perform their duties safely and effectively. The lighting system should be designed to provide uniform illumination, minimize glare, and avoid creating shadows or dark spots that could obscure visibility. The type of lighting system used in a fire station can also have an impact on the health and well-being of the personnel. Studies have shown that exposure to bright, artificial light at night can disrupt the body's natural circadian rhythms, leading to sleep disturbances, fatigue, and other health problems. To mitigate these effects, fire stations should consider using lighting systems that simulate natural daylight, adjusting the color, temperature, and intensity of the light throughout the day to match the natural cycle of sunlight. The use of dimmers and timers can also help to reduce exposure to bright light at night. The design of the lighting system should also take into account the specific needs of the firefighters. For example, the apparatus bays should be equipped with high-intensity lighting that allows firefighters to quickly and easily inspect and maintain their equipment. The living quarters should have softer, more relaxing lighting that promotes rest and relaxation. The offices should have task lighting that provides adequate illumination for reading and writing. The lighting system should also be designed to be easy to maintain and repair. The fixtures should be accessible for cleaning and bulb replacements, and the wiring should be protected from damage. The lighting system should also be inspected regularly to ensure that it is functioning properly and that all of the fixtures are in good condition. Regular maintenance and repairs can help to extend the lifespan of the lighting system and prevent costly breakdowns. The decision to include step lights is also sometimes influenced by insurance requirements. Insurance companies may require certain safety features, including adequate lighting, to reduce the risk of accidents and injuries. Meeting these requirements can help to lower insurance premiums and protect the fire station from liability. Furthermore, the proper installation and maintenance of step lights can contribute to a positive image for the fire station. A well-lit and maintained fire station demonstrates a commitment to safety and professionalism, which can enhance the public's trust and confidence in the fire department. In conclusion, step lights are an essential safety feature in fire stations. They provide low-level illumination that helps to prevent falls, improve visibility, and guide occupants to safety during emergencies. The requirements for step lights are specified in building codes and safety standards, such as the IBC and NFPA 101. By adhering to these guidelines and implementing best practices for lighting design and maintenance, fire stations can create a safer and more functional environment for their personnel and the community they serve. The requirements for step lights in fire stations are multifaceted, encompassing aspects of building codes, safety standards, electrical codes, and best practices for lighting design and maintenance. A comprehensive approach to step light implementation ensures a safer and more functional environment for fire station personnel, enhancing their ability to respond effectively to emergencies and protect the community.